All right, Molly, thanks, and thank you for watching this special edition of WMBD News this morning. I'm Matt Sheehan.
And I'm Shelby Roberts. This morning, we continue to follow our election results. Now, the big race for president, those results are still being tallied even into this morning. Local races are all crawling at the bottom of your screen.
We start with Illinois' U.S. Senate seat. The incumbent U.S. Senator Dick Durbin will remain in office. The 75-year-old Democrat has been a part of Capitol Hill since 1996. The senior senator defended the Affordable Care Act, introduced the DREAM Act, and has worked alongside Republicans to pass criminal justice reform. Last night, he thanked his downstate supporters.
I believe that the future of downstate is strong, with a strong agricultural economy at the core of it. But I think there's opportunities in manufacturing and new technology that we need to take advantage of.
On the national stage, Durbin serves as Democratic whip, the second-ranking Democrat in the Senate.
With 98% of precincts now reporting Illinoisans voting to reject the state's constitutional requirement for a flat tax rate. It was the first question on the ballot for many. Now, in this matter, it opposes the amendment and supports support a flat rate income tax, and many critics saying that this amendment makes it easier for the government to take control of raising taxes. Again, the state's current flat tax is 4.95% for individuals, and it's been a part of the Constitution since 1969.
For the 46th district, which is parts of Fulton, Peoria, and Tazewell counties, with 100% of the votes in, incumbent Democrat Senator Dave Kaler triumphing over Tazewell County Treasurer Mary Burris. Kaler has secured the Illinois District 46 state Senate seat for 14 years. Now he's up for another term. Kaler says two of his legislative priorities are health care and clean energy policies. This comes after Vistra Energy announced the closure of 4 Illinois coal plants, one being the Duck Creek plant in Canton. Kaler sponsored a bill called the Coal to Solar Energy Act. He says the plan works to repurpose closed coal plants, turning them into solar producers and battery energy plants. Kaler calls this way the future.
I want to look at energy policy. I think we need to make sure that that downstate is taken care of in terms of our energy needs. Right now, Illinois is an energy exporter. That's very good for us because that means our electricity prices are down.
The time is now 5:03. We now move to the 91st District for State Representative, which includes parts of Fulton, Peoria, and Tazewell counties. Pekin Mayor Mark Luft is now the representative-elect for Illinois' 91st District. And Mayor Luft, born and raised in Pekin, moving up the political ladder. First, he was elected to Pekin City Council. That was back in 2015, ultimately transitioning to the role of mayor in 2019. Luft tells us why it was time for him to pivot to state leadership.
After being in the local, I have seen a lot of things, how a municipality has to function, especially with their relationship with the state. It has been, especially this year, very frustrating. A lot of red tape. The communication lines aren't where they should be, where I would expect them to be.
And Luft says that the work starts now. He plans to curb out-of-control spending in the state and push for ethics reform in Springfield. Luft beat his challenger, Josh Grise, another Pekin resident and a former teacher.
For the 92nd District, serving the Peoria metro area, Jahan Gordon Booth holding her seat with 74% of the vote. Her challenger, Libertarian Chad Grimm, getting 26% of the vote. Booth has held the position since 2009.
In Illinois' 13th House District, including parts of McLean County, Rodney Davis will retain his seat in the U.S. House. Davis has represented that area since 2013. Now, in 2018, his Democratic challenger, Betsy Dirksen Londrigan, came in with a loss against Davis with less than 1% against.
In the 16th House District, including Bureau, LaSalle, Livingston, Putnam, and part of Stark counties, Adam Kinzinger also holding his seat. He won this race by a large margin, nearly 2 votes to 1. Kinzinger, an Air Force veteran, has served as a representative since 2010.
Right now, a neck-and-neck race throughout the night for Democratic incumbent Cheri Bustos and her Republican challenger Esther Joy King. You can see very close numbers here with 99% of those precincts now voting, bringing those numbers to the total. And the 17th representing Henry, Knox, Fulton, and parts of Peoria and Tazewell counties. That's what District 17 includes. Bustos did declare a victory by 4% over Republican Joy King.
And in the 18th, covering Mason, Woodford, Marshall, and parts of Peoria, Tazewell, and McLean counties, Republican Darren LaHood beats his Democratic challenger George Petrilli with 70% of the votes. LaHood saying his district is the 8th largest in the nation for soybean and corn production. The Republican serving Central Illinoisans for the better half of a decade. Celebrating the victory last night, he thanked his constituents for trusting in his leadership, and he says he's ready to get back to work in Washington.
Elections are heated battles over ideas and concepts, but once it's over, I think people expect us to come together on behalf of the American people, and that's what I look forward to doing.
LaHood saying his top priorities is passing an infrastructure bill to rebuild roads and bridges and also working toward a second round of a stimulus package.
We're now taking a look at a number of different referendum races that were taking place in Central Illinois. First, a decision from Peoria County voters to sell Headington Oaks. 84% of people making that decision to sell, 16% voting no. That now vacant building is expected to go on the market. Right now, there are no known buyers interested in that property.
And 59% of voters agree the West Peoria Township should cease to exist. That breakdown, 59% yes, 41% no. It's important to point out that this does not affect the actual city of West Peoria, just the township.
In another referendum, Bartonville will soon have paid fire crews stationed at the firehouse ready to respond to emergency calls. 70% of the people there living are in favor of the idea, only 30% voting no.
In Germantown Hills, residents have shot down a cannabis dispensary proposal. It asked if the village would be able to permit and regulate an adult-use cannabis dispensary.
And in McLean County, a majority of people living in Downs are agreeing to a 1% increase to the sales tax there. That money would go toward infrastructure improvements.